I've always enjoyed good wines and always had a passion for wine. Always enjoyed a good bottle of wine.
I was spoiled as a kid. Every now and then I get to taste some great wines that most kids don't get to taste.
I was in the manufacturing business here in the Bay Area, and what was always in the back of my mind was that it would be wonderful to have a small family operation that would allow us to produce great wines, but I didn't really know what that would take.
Livermore Valley is kind of this undiscovered territory for most wine drinkers worldwide. I remember coming out here for like 4 or 5 days just thinking to myself, why aren't we here? Why isn't this what we're doing?
When we decided that it was going to happen, that it really was going to work, that was very exciting.
At the time we had just found this place and still didn't have a name.
We found out that Livermore was actually known as Nottingham.
But it seemed a little long. Nottingham Winery didn't really seem right. So I think the name actually came, I was in the shower. Like all great ideas that I have, they come when I'm in the shower. You know, it wasn't an estate winery, we weren't on a vineyard. It was more of an urban wine feel. Cellars just sounded perfect for what we were trying to accomplish. So Nottingham Cellars, it just sounded great and had an historical tie to the valley here, and we decided to go with it.
Well, first of all, I'm the brains of the operation and Colin is the brawn.
We're sourcing the best fruit that we possibly can here in the Livermore Valley, using the best barrels we can. One thing that people need to understand is that every wine is a blend. Even if it's a Cabernet Sauvignon, it's a blend of at least a couple different barrels. What I do is really focus on creating an array of blending components.
The art really is being able to understand what it is today and what it needs to become in 6 months, a year, 2 years. We're sitting there with X number of barrels, and he knows each one of those. By the time they're a year old, he knows exactly what this barrel is going to do and what that barrel is going to do.
Every vintage, I have the opportunity to pick and choose which barrels play off each other the best. Physically blend the barrels that are going to create that wine, and then actually pump the wine back into barrels for additional aging so it has time to homogenize, has time to marry together, and really create a nice, complex, balanced blend that is going to show well the day that we release it. I joke with people sometimes that I'm a father, and I'm a father every year, and I have about 150 kids.
Here at Nottingham Cellars, we expect people to come in and really enjoy what's going on here. Not just the wine, but the environment. We want people to think of us as the friendliest place in town or the easiest place to be.
99% of the time, my dad, myself, or both of us will be the ones in the tasting room that are pouring the wines for you. So you can, pick the brains of the guys that are putting these wines together, and yeah, we really try to provide a nice, intimate experience.
When our guests are here tasting the various flights of wine that we have, one of the things that we like to do is allow them to tell us more of their likes and dislikes, whether they like a high acidity wine or if they like something that is a little more tart, or if they really enjoy a smooth Bordeaux style. And when we start talking about the wines, we also take their information and talk about whether they like barbecue, or if they like chicken, or if they like fish, and then work backwards from that. So it's a great opportunity to get to know some folks.
In 2011, we decided to see how my wine stood up to the rest of the world. So we entered 6 wines into the San Francisco Chronicle wine competition, hoping to get 1 or 2 medals. And we ended up medaling all 6 entries, including a double gold on our Chardonnay. 3 months later, we entered 8 wines into the Finger Lakes International Wine Competition. All 8 wines medaled, including another double gold and 3 gold medals. And then 4 months later, we entered 4 wines into the San Francisco International Wine Competition, and all 4 wines medaled again. After that, we decided to take it to the next step, and we submitted our wines to Wine Enthusiast magazine. We took an 87 on our Petit Syrah, 89s on our Reserve Petit Syrah, Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon, Chardonnay, and Ralphie's Red Blend, and then 90 points on our Supremacy Bordeaux-style Red Blend. When we first opened, we had people coming in, I gotta have Ralphie's. What's Ralphie's Red Blend?
Well, Ralphie's Red Blend is a wonderful marriage of Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. Ralphie is actually Colin's nickname. He picked it up when he was a kid.
I wore sports goggles when I played basketball, and I looked like Ralphie from the movie A Christmas Story. The wine, was kind of a tribute to my friends, and it actually just became our #1 seller. It was just really cool to see that wine take off.
We want to really not only grow in the greater Bay Area, but get our wines in front of more people.
My vision would be taking my family on vacation 20 years from now to the city of New York, or going to Chicago and going into a restaurant, sitting down, ordering a meal and a glass of Nottingham Cellars Cabernet. I think that would just be awesome.